April 9th, 2022. Halfcast 277, episode 277. Let's go. Of course, I have a few things to share with you guys. An evening of reflection. Shall we? Career criminal gets prison time for paycheck protection program fraud. As the authorities are finally starting to catch up to most of the people who took advantage of the paycheck protection program just one time, I would like to hear that they caught somebody, but they don't know where the hell the money is. Timothy Sharon Andrews on Friday was the latest convicted felon to stand before a judge to be sentenced for defrauding the Paycheck Protection Program. U.S. District Judge Christy DeBoss sentenced Andrews, 42, of Pritchard to 18 months behind bars for that offense, plus an additional 2.5 years for violating the terms of his supervised release on a drug conviction. She also ordered him to pay $23,333 to the Small Business Administration and the bank that processed this loan under COVID-19 relief program. Not even worth it. Federal prosecutors sought a sentence of 2.5 years in prison for the new offense, citing the defendant's criminal record and his attempt to minimize criminal conduct he admitted to as part of the current case. Andrews' history indicates that he is a career criminal and recidivist who failed to capitalize on the opportunity that this court afforded him. It doesn't sound good at all when it released him early from a prior lengthy prison sentence. Assistant U.S. Attorney Justin Roller wrote in a sentencing memo. Those type of notes can piss a judge off because it's like low-key telling him that he's too soft. He now refuses to own up to key aspects of his criminal conduct despite his contrary sworn admissions. His actions, which demonstrate an acute need for specific deterrence and incapacitation, warrant a significant sentence. Andrews pleaded guilty in December to making false statements to the Small Business Administration. He admitted that he submitted a pair of fraudulent applications in January and February 2021 under the COVID-19 relief program intended to help businesses survive the pandemic. A judge sentenced Andrews in 2008 to 25 years in prison on a crack cocaine conspiracy charge. But DuBose, in light of a First Step Act signed by then President Donald Trump, changed the penalty to time served in 2019 and ordered him released from prison. Half his sentence. Since December 2019, he has been supervised by the U.S. Probation Office. Okay, if you're the head of the committee that's in charge of overseeing how these funds get distributed, how did you not see 1,000% increase in small businesses in like a year? Because at some point it turned into not even somebody found a loophole. It was like just an open door. Everybody gets one. In the first application, Andrews falsely claimed to be the sole proprietor of a trucking services business that he claimed to have established in January 2019, 8 months before he got out of prison. He falsely claimed income of $120,100 and provided a social security number according to his plea agreement. He did that from prison, guys. He did that from prison. Undeterred, Andrews tried again on February 8th, 2021, not from prison. Roller wrote that day he submitted a fraudulent PPP loan application, again listing the false social security number. I hope it wasn't the same number. In the second application, Andrews claimed to have founded a janitorial services business in 2018 with $128,360 income during tax year 2019. This time, despite the fact that he was in prison when the company purportedly began operating, and despite the rejection of his first application, Small Business Administration approved the loan and sent him $20,833. At this point, somebody has to be just as responsible for giving it to him as he is for taking it. Andrews wired all but $33 to a Wells Fargo branch on Muffet Road in Mobile. After pleading guilty, Andrews argued that he should not be held accountable for using someone else's social security number because someone else submitted the applications on his behalf and inadvertently switched two of the digits. If you're the same type of people that gave him the check, you would probably believe him. The claim is factually and legally baseless, Roller argued. Notwithstanding his current contrary position, Andrew's true and correct social security number did not appear anywhere on the application paperwork. Roller later added his suggestion that some other unnamed person filed the applications for him and innocently transposed the numbers strains credulity and finds no support in the records. It is also utterly at odds with the admissions he made under oath as part of his guilty plea. Roller is done with him. He wants to see him go down forever. Next up, after selling $300,000 in property he didn't own, Harris County man sentenced to 40 years in prison. You come home from work and somebody's asking you if you're here to see the house? A 54-year-old man from Albin was sentenced to 40 years in prison this week for selling property he didn't own to unsuspecting buyers. Harris County District Attorney Kim Ogg announced Saturday. Jitchway Rhodes Jr. was convicted by a jury Thursday of aggregate theft of more than $300,000, a first-degree felony after a 5-day trial, Ogg's office said. Rhodes took property from elderly owners or heirs of deceased owners and then using forged or fraudulent deeds presented the property as his own according to the DA. He stole 442,000 in cash and property according to Ogg's office. Got his face on all types of Remax billboards. They don't even know who he is, but he's selling all the prime property in Harris County. When a scammer perpetuates this kind of fraud, it creates two classes of victims, the true owners and the unsuspecting buyers, Ogg said in a statement. He often preyed on Spanish speakers who paid for property in cash and may not have understood the system. This guy understands the system. Cash is king. In court, Rhodes tried to blame the title companies, said Assistant District Attorney Valerie Turner, chief of the DA's Consumer Fraud Section, in a statement. But you can't take a forged or fraudulent deed, run it through a title company, and somehow clean it up. She said, he knows how. Apparently, you can. He knew that, but he did it anyway. Rhodes' scheme involved money in multiple properties in Houston belonging to at least 8 groups of owners or their heirs, according to court documents. The crimes occurred between December 2016 to July 2017, according to court documents. Rhodes had faced a minimum of 25 years in prison. After he was convicted, he agreed to a 40-year prison sentence instead of letting a jury or a judge determine punishment, according to the DA. Man walks into Alabama jail, confesses to murder, then tries to escape. A man walked into a jail in Alabama Thursday afternoon, which just sounds like the beginning of a horrible bar joke, and stunned authorities by announcing that he wanted to confess to a murder before trying to escape, according to Russell County Sheriff Heath Taylor. Anthony Jackson, 33, is now locked up in the Russell County Jail facing capital murder charges in the 2019 drive-by shooting death of 27-year-old Bianca Bolden, authorities told Nextstar's WRBL. Deputies said Jackson had a gun on him when he walked into the jail and made his confession, resulting in further charges. I have never seen this happen in 35 years of law enforcement, Sheriff Taylor said. Jackson was taken to the agency's investigative building. Phoenix City police were called when investigators realized their officers had been working the fatal shooting case. In addition to the capital murder charges, Jackson is facing gun charges for promoting prison contraband and possession by a convicted felon. I mean, something had to be weighing down on him that he came in and confessed to you. At some point, Jackson tried to escape, Taylor said. Horrible time to change your mind, leading to an escape charge. Bolden was shot inside a Phoenix City home as she held her baby on June 10th, 2019. Family members said that weight was killing him. Chief Assistant District Attorney Rick Chansey says his office is still investigating and is not sure if he will seek the death penalty against Jackson. He did come in and he did confess. It is a capital charge now because police believe Bolden was killed by a bullet shot from a vehicle. It is still an active investigation, Chansey said. We are trying to confirm the facts of what he confessed to. We want to make sure that what he said he did, he did. Fair enough. But so far, what he's telling us is adding up. I don't work for the legal system. I don't know how they would look at it, but the way I see it is someone coming to you with a murder confession is a sign of remorse. Man arrested after being found with meth and several catalytic converters. Meth and catalytic converters go together like burgers and fries. Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff Station deputies reported Thursday that they had arrested a man on suspicion of drug possession as well as possession of stolen catalytic converters after they pulled him over for a vehicle code infraction in Castaic, according to Deputy Natalie Arriaga, which is becoming a regular on this podcast. Jesus Christ, a spokeswoman for the SCV Sheriff Station. The arrest stems from deputies patrolling Parker Road, noticing the suspect's expired vehicle registration. As they approached the vehicle to contact the driver during a traffic stop, they observed several cut catalytic converters and tools commonly used for theft in the bed of the truck, Arriaga said. A search of the vehicle resulted in the additional recovery of a large bag of methamphetamine and drug paraphernalia. Cowboy Christmas, the man described, the 33-year-old resident of Wilmington, California, was transported to the SCV Sheriff Station and booked on suspicion of transportation of a controlled substance, grand theft, and possession of drug paraphernalia. He was subsequently released on citation to appear in court on a later date. It's become so regular that they didn't even hold him. They just gave him a court date. Fun show. Fun show. Fun show. That being said, I'm going to wrap this one up, but I'll be sure to talk to you guys very, very soon. Adios.